afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of Falcon Focus. I'm your host, Vaughn Purdy. Thank you for being with me today. One of the missions, or the mission of Simmons College of Kentucky, is to educate students in the urban context so that they might be productive citizens and agents of change. Well, we've been doing that since 1879. And part of this show, I want to introduce you to many of our students, because if it weren't for our students, we wouldn't exist to meet the goals of our mission. So I am so happy and pleased today to have one of our very good students with us to tell us all about her journey. Let me introduce you to Deborah Brown.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Deborah.
Thank you, Vaughn.
First of all, tell our audience a little bit about you and how you picked Simmons College of Kentucky.
Well, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
I moved away in '95, and I lived in Ohio for 14 years, and I moved back home in 2009.
Okay.
And I go to St. Stephen's Church.
Okay.
And I would hear Reverend Cosby speak about Simmons College. I've drove by it many a times, and I've always worked jobs where I didn't use my brain.
Okay.
And that bothered me. I wanted to think something I could think. And so I walked in there actually on my birthday, January the 7th, 2016, and enrolled.
Great.
And I started in the fall of 2016.
Good, good. Now, Deborah's one of our ambitious students. I remember seeing you around campus a lot, and I'm glad you decided to enroll. Now tell us about your enrollment, what your major is, and how that's been working for you.
Initially, I was majored in general studies.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I really don't want a degree in just general studies. So, and then I took that first sociology class.
Okay. And tell us who the teacher was.
And the teacher was actually Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
And he does religious studies now, but he was teaching sociology. And it hit me. I was like, this is what I've been doing all my life. This is what I've been thinking all my life. I just didn't have the vocabulary, to speak that language, or I had, the research and all this, and it just stuck with me. So I changed my major to sociology.
Okay, now tell us, you are a class of 2022?
Yes.
So tell us about your experience here. I mean, I like to let our audience know about give a good picture of what Simmons is, a classroom experience. Have you gotten involved in any extracurricular activities?
Yes, right now, currently, I'm the vice president of the sociology club. And I've done other little classroom projects involving other students. And the journey here, it was actually scary walking in, because I'm 49. I hadn't been to at the time I was. And I was like, oh, Lord, what am I going to do with all these young people? So I was very intimidated. But the young people are surprisingly, some of them were drawn to me, and some of them just, be in their own world or whatever. So you have the old, the young, a mix in each classroom, and the professors are awesome. I can never speak enough about Simmons professors.
Good, good, good.
We're getting what I've seen from other students in other colleges, they're not getting.
Now tell them about that, because the HBCU experience is a little bit different. I always tell our audience, I'm a product of an HBCU. HBCUs are a little bit more not a little bit more so, but they just add an additional element of nurturing, and I'm sure other schools do as well. But something about an HBCU and the HBCU experience, it's a sense of pride, a sense of family, a sense of culture. That is at least what I have experienced.
Right.
Tell us more about
it.
Yours.
Is that extra nurturing, that extra time that your professors spend with you. You have the open door.
Yes.
I don't have to be intimidated by any of our chairs of our departments or any of our professors, because they sit in the lounge and they talk with us, and do all that interaction. And, it's just a different atmosphere, because I hadn't been going to church.
Okay.
But when I come to Simmons, I feel like the Simmons family is my church.
Exactly.
Because we pray together, we worship together, we break bread, we do all of that, So it's like coming to church and you have a whole nother family that helps you and encourages you.
Because religious studies is a big part of Simmons and Simmons history. We have a deep, rich history in the religious roots. And that's a part of one of our majors, which is very important here. And because we are accredited by the American Biblical Higher Education Association, our students have to take about 30 hours of religious studies and religion.
Yes.
So it's a big part of who we are. But not only that, we now have 4-year degrees here at Simmons. Like your sociology degree will be a 4-year degree. So our students can move beyond religious studies and go on to majors and programs that they want to take into a career.
Right.
So tell us about your career piece. Or you graduated in 2022.
Yes.
Tell us what, I tell you what, we'll take a break. Let's take a break, and when we get back, we will talk a little bit about Deborah's journey as far as her career.
Did you know that nearly 75% of high school seniors are accepted to their first college of choice, but only a little over half can afford to attend, according to a recent study? The outcomes prove the need for college-bound students to consider tuition costs alongside of program offerings. Simmons College of Kentucky offers 5 degree concentrations and in 2018 was named the most affordable HBCU in the nation. Simmons College of Kentucky, creating the next generation of thinkers.
Welcome back. When we left, we were talking a little bit about Deborah's journey and her experience here at Simmons College of Kentucky. Now we're going to get to the good part, some of the payoff that an education at Simmons College of Kentucky can bring you. So I understand you may have some new, exciting news to tell our audience how Simmons has prepared you and what doors have opened for you.
Yes, I did an internship at the Louisville Metro Health and Wellness Department, which is the health department, over the past summer. And I did contact tracing and a little bit of the disease investigating. And I liked it there. And they liked me. So while I was there, they were becoming a little overwhelmed. So they decided to hire more people on other than temps outside. They used a temp service outside of it. So I got hired on. And I started Monday. As a disease investigator. It's part-time temporary, but it's ties in with my sociology. You know, everything ties in together. And then right after I accepted that position, I got another position at U of L. Which I'll be doing. Now, wait a minute. Let me get the title. Health equity policy.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm going to be working with Dr. Smith at U of L in their health equity department. And what he's doing is trying to work with South Louisville, West Louisville.
Is that Dr. Ted Smith?
Yes, Dr. Ted Smith.
We know him. He's a friend of Simmons College of Kentucky.
Yes, and
I'm
he's
so glad he
wanting
connected with you. He's been here and connected with us. So I'm so happy that you're doing it. Now go back, because everybody's probably curious about the contact tracing piece. As you all know, we're in the midst of COVID, so contact tracing is a part of that. So tell people what you do with contact tracing.
Yeah, as a contact tracer, what we do is when someone is diagnosed with COVID, do an initial interview, and that person gives a contact of all the people that they had been in contact at least 3 days prior to their infection. So then we call those people and find out more contacts, and it helps us find clusters. Like if there's say a band member at Simmons, we would call him and say, we understand that you have recently been diagnosed with COVID. Who have you been around?
So are people reluctant to tell you?
A lot of them are. A lot of them are. Some of them give wrong phone numbers and addresses. And they don't want to say
we had a family backyard party.
No, they definitely don't want to do that. But some of them are actually forthcoming because they're scared. And they want information from you. So it's a student at Simmons, band member says, well, I did brand practice the other day. And he give us names of those contacts. We'll contact. So we'll know there's a cluster at Simmons. And so the health department will know how to advise Simmons on what to do and what steps to take, you know, whether they need to stop the band program or they just need to change their protocol or something. Yeah, so it helps do that, and it helps give information to the people also that this is nothing to put a nasty stigma on. We're in a pandemic. You know, so if it happens, we got information, we can help you. If you can't isolate at home, they have a hotel set up for people.
I don't think people know this information.
Yes, they have all,
Is this through through the health department?
This is through the health department.
Okay.
There's the form that we will fill out. We ask them, can you safely isolate at home?
Okay.
And a person may say, well, no, because I have my 90-year-old mother there, and there's no place for me to isolate away from her. So they put them on the list to get a hotel room to take them away from infecting other people. And so we, tell them about the quarantine and all of that.
Okay.
So it's tracing. So we can find out where it's like the big influx that we had. What is the main reason for this?
Now we're right in the middle of flu season.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're going to be very busy in the next few weeks because our numbers are changing.
Yes.
Like across the country, there's been an increase.
Yes.
So you're going to have your hands very busy. So tell us a little bit about your typical day there. I know you just started the job on Monday, but how do you like it, and what is a typical day for you?
A typical day, well, I can go off of when I did the internship. We come in, we have a morning meeting, and then we get to work. We get to making the phone calls, prepare ourselves. We check our emails, and we get to making the phone calls, and we watch, we keen on watching clusters.
Okay.
Where stuff may break out, and then we report that to our, upper supervisor. Look, there's something going on, maybe at this particular school or this particular restaurant or something like that. Yeah, so they know what to do.
Because what about how do you all get involved with sports clusters? Like, we still play football, we still play different sports around town and across the country, actually. So can you tell whether a cluster results from?
Actually, that happened early this summer with one particular, I can't say the name, but sports cluster. And so they were able to figure that out. And so now with the sports all coming back in.
Fall sports.
Yes, so now they're developing teams.
Okay.
Like my team will be dealing with schools, daycares, colleges.
So schools all in Jefferson County?
I'm assuming,
Good. Well, my son is at a school. That's my
and so I guess they have the JCPS and the private schools. Yes. And then there's other clusters that will be dealing with the restaurants.
Yes.
And the other ones that will be dealing with the sports. And so we break it up in teams so people won't get overwhelmed.
So do we find that, in your experience, though brief, do you find that having the clusters and the contact tracing is helping identify it and stop it or slow it? Do you find some
It can
there?
If people follow the rules.
Okay.
And that's why the governor's on there, just begging people, please wear your mask, social distance, do all that, because even when you find those clusters, there's only so much the health department can do.
That's true.
If people don't follow the rules.
Right. But it's important to identify. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
With that position. Now tell us a little bit about your other one position that you have, your other part-time position.
Yes, it hasn't
when will
started
that start?
yet. That starts in November.
And that will be?
That's
a nice big title.
It's a long title. When I read it in the email, I said, wow.
Wow.
But
it's impressive.
It is. It's very impressive. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm very blessed.
Good.
To have gotten both of these positions. And I would just recommend people to do these internships and be flexible with your major.
Yeah.
Because my major, even though it's sociology, I wanted to gear towards sociology of education.
Okay.
But I've done an internship, that summer before last, I worked doing IT.
Yes.
Well, I almost turned it down.
Well, never turn down an internship.
Yes, I was like, I don't know anything about IT or whatever. And Dr. Caldwell encouraged me. He said, I think you would be really great for this. So I did that. And then the health department came up. And Dr. C said, I know it's not in education, but give it a try.
Right.
So I gave it a try. So be flexible with your major, because you don't know where it's going to lead. So now I'm in the health part of sociology, and it's very interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
And
I'm
never know
enjoying
where it may lead.
You never know.
And the thing about internship students, if you're watching this show, or people, internships can open the door for you to so many different opportunities. And one good thing about internships, education, and training, you learn transferable skills.
Right.
I was an English major, you never know where that's going to lead. I've done sales, you never know where it's going to lead. So always be open to new opportunities. And if anyone is interested in helping our students with internships, please contact us at Simmons College of Kentucky. We'll give that information at the end of the show. Deborah, is there anything else you want to tell our audience about your experience? Any more advice you want to give to our students?
I would just say, if you're one of those people like me who I've never had those long-term dreams and long-term goals and set all of that, it's just be ready for any opportunity that comes.
That is wonderful advice.
You know, because if it comes and you're not prepared, you lose out, you know, whereas if you get no opportunities, well, you really nothing to complain about. But I've been preparing myself for anything that comes at me, because I made up my mind when I walked in those doors, I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to be open to new experiences and all of that. So I've done that, and it's been scary.
Yes. Change is scary.
Yes.
Something new can be scary.
And step outside that comfort zone. Just, man, it's amazing.
Take one step, and you never know what
first step leads to.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, not only are we so very proud of Deborah, but we have one more student that we want to introduce to you. His name is Alex Simon. Alex is a student who graduated in 2019, and he has taken a new job in Indiana. So we're going to take a break and introduce you to Alex, and then we'll come back.
Hey you guys, my name is Alex Simon. I am a recent graduate of Simmons College, Kentucky. I graduated in 2019 with my bachelor's in cross-cultural communication. Currently what I'm doing for my professional career is a TV news producer in Evansville, Indiana. I do the night show for 44 News, which if you want to check out their website is wevv.com. I'm so happy that I was able to graduate from Simmons and to land a position of this manner by graduating from Simmons. So that lets you know, anybody that is considering Simmons, no matter what you want to do in life, you can graduate from Simmons and also get a job like mine. I would like to thank my dean, Dr. Abel, for being on me and staying on me regarding my writing skills, because writing skills are very important in the newsroom, and also producing leadership and public speaking as well. So I'm very thankful for being able to have a dean like Dr. Abel, and also the other communication professors who helped me along my journey as well, to get me prepared to be a leader, because that's the biggest thing. When you go into professional careers, you want to be able to write and you want to be able to speak, because those are the two top things that they look at when they are choosing someone. And by being African American, especially African American male, it's very important to be on top of your game. So I'm very thankful for Dr. Abel and all the other professors in communication who helped me along my journey. So the biggest thing is that you stay focused, you listen to your professors, and also be able to communicate properly. So if I did not graduate from Simmons and didn't have the professors that were so attentive and so dedicated to my professional growth, I don't think that I would have made it this far. So I will say Simmons, even though it is small and we are continue to grow, you can still land a great job and a professional career graduating from Simmons, because I am kind of that example. And I always wanted to be that example of what you can do by going to Simmons, because just because we're a small HBCU does not mean that we cannot make it as well. So that will be my thing. And what I would tell you all is that to continue to be motivated, to be focused, and also keep God and your culture and your race in front of everything, and everything will fall into place. So I'd like to thank everyone from Simmons who helped me along my journey. And sometimes we had a little bumps in the road while me attending Simmons, but if it wasn't for those bumps in the road, I really would not be prepared to be where I'm at now. So thank you guys.
That was one of our really good students that we're very proud of, Alex Simon. I'm very proud of Alex because he really got out of his shell, and now he has a wonderful, wonderful job. But the one thing that Alex did, he was willing to move. So he moved to Indiana, which is not that far away, but he took the first step. So second step, first step is get the education, come to Simmons, be open, and be available. So Alex took the opportunity, just like Deborah has reached out, and she took a chance on the jobs that she took, and she took 2 jobs. So she may be running the health department in a few.
Who knows?
Years.
You
Who
know,
knows?
who
But
knows?
she is open. So the main thing to remember is just to be open.
Yeah, I think that was great of Alex
Yeah,
to be able to move.
was.
Some people not willing to move,
No,
but
no.
you never know.
No. I'm from North Carolina originally, and I got my job in Toledo, Ohio. And the first thing my mom said was, "Are you moving?" I was like, "Yes." And it is a very, very scary thing to move, but since I've moved, I haven't looked back.
Right.
So it opens doors. So be willing and be ready to take advantage.
Just snatch those opportunities when they come.
Yeah. So I just want to let our audience know that this is what Simmons College does for our students.
Yeah.
One part of this show will be to celebrate student success. And that's why I like having guests like Deborah and Alex to show our audience and our community that investing in a Simmons student is a very important thing to do. You never know how you will transform the life of a student. So we have students who are willing to do internships like Deborah does. And so if you need more information on how to reach us, you can reach us at www.simmonscollegeky.edu. Send your email to the attention of Deborah Mayberry at simmonscollegeky.edu. She is our Career Services Director, and she will get the information. And you can always reach out to us here at Falcon Focus as well. So that's been one of our show today. Thank you again, Deborah, for being our guest.
Thank you, Vaughn, for having me.
Thank you. And before we leave, we all know there's an important thing going on in our community. Voting. So we want to encourage all our people in the audience, all our students, to vote. And at the end of the show, you will see all the different polling locations where early voting has been going on since October 13th. And early voting goes until right up until the day of the election, which is November 3rd. So check out the list of the different polling locations, and we encourage you again to vote. So again, that was our show. Thank you so much. And join us next time on Falcon Focus.